welcome to the Drumming Talk Show. I'm your host, Oakley, and in today's podcast, we're going to be breaking down the different parts of the drum set and accessories. But first, let's talk about our sponsor of this podcast. Today's sponsor is FLC. FLC is the Foreign Language Club. It started when we had a full-time language Spanish teacher here at Clark County, and it was a way to learn about culture. Numbers have died since students stopped practicing different ways of speaking. A governmental quote is celebrating humanity through language, and they are also an association because it helps students learn the culture and languages from different places. Now let's get back to the podcast. So, the parts of the drum set is the bass drum, snare drum, toms, floor tom, hi-hat cymbal, crash cymbal, and ride cymbal. To start it off, we're gonna talk about the bass drum. This is the largest drum in this set, and it makes the deepest sound. This is mainly used to keep a really good rhythm, and it keeps whoever you're playing with on track, and it will put it all together. The bass drum is always on the floor with one side facing the drummer, and it has a pedal with a beater on it, and you use your foot to make the sound. Next, we will talk about the snare drum. The snare drum is in the middle of the drum set, and it makes a different sound from the rest of the drums because it has a row of metal springs that will smack the bottom of the drum after you hit it, and it makes the sound. The metal springs are called the snare, which makes the drum called snare. This drum as well has a lever on the side of it that can make a higher pitch sound, and when you pull the lever, it will make a lower sound. Next, we will talk about the toms. So with the toms, you got 3 of them, but we will get to the third one after this. These 2 are located in front of the set and on top of the bass drum. They come in many different sizes with 2 simple drum faces. The toms can make a variety of different sounds, and as the drum gets bigger in size, it gets deeper and deeper in pitch. Most drum sets have 2 toms, but many different drummers add more to make different sounds, to make many different beats as well. Now we will talk about the floor tom. The floor tom is the deepest sound of the toms. As it says in the name, it's always on the floor. It's always facing upward, not to the side or upside down. It has 3 legs that it will stand on, and it is mostly used by the drummer's dominant hand, and it can be used to make very nice beats. Usually rock drummers will kind of keep that rhythm, and they will hit all of their other toms, and they'll keep their right hand hitting the floor tom, and then they'll have their left hand hitting the other toms going down the way until they make it there, and then they'll restart, and they'll kind of keep on going like that, and it'll make a pretty nice sound, and it'll make a nice beat. And next is the hi-hat cymbal. The hi-hat is made up of 2 flat brass cymbals. They are connected with a stand. This stand has a pedal, and you can press your foot on it, and the pedal, and it can close the hi-hat, and it will make a higher pitch sound, and you can let your foot off, and it will make a much louder sound. The hi-hat is also used to keep a nice and steady pace. usually whenever you're going, it's a fast song, you're going to be hitting that thing fast whenever it's closed. But if you let your foot off of it, you're not going to have to hit it very much. You'll hit it like maybe once, and then keep on going, just not very fast. But if you close that thing, it's like boom, 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 and it's just fast. And now we're going to talk about the crash cymbal. Normally, a drum set will have two of these, one on the left and one on the right. They are very similar and thin, so when you hit the cymbal, it will vibrate and make a loud crashing sound. The crash cymbal comes in many different sizes from 8 inches to 28 inches. Normally, rock drummers will use a lot of different crash cymbals for different parts of the song, different ways of making different beats. And last, we will talk about the ride cymbal. Normally the ride cymbal is located above the floor tom. It is designed to be used for a steady, soft, and smooth beat, but can be used for a lot of other beats. This is also used mainly on a jazz song or jazz beat, or whenever you're just messing around freestyle and doing whatever you like. This will complete a drum set very nicely without overpowering any of the other elements of the drum set. And so that'll be all for the breakdown of the drum parts. Now we'll talk about the different accessories. Drumsticks, drumsticks, drumsticks. You need to get a steady and trusting set of drumsticks that are very durable and won't break when you hit the drum. Because sometimes you'll end up hitting the rim of the drum, and that is metal, and it can possibly break your stick, or it'll put a nice carving in it. And if you keep on hitting it in that same spot, it's going to end up breaking off. I've done it with multiple sets of drumsticks, and it's very easy to break them, actually. And it sucks because you're playing, all of a sudden your stick breaks, and then you gotta play with one hand until you can get another one. But when you play with drumsticks, if you see the letter A, it's usually more for an orchestra, which is usually lighter, which, me personally, I would use that just for an anytime play, because I like the lighter sticks, because it's more maneuverable, I'm able to move more, and I don't have to keep, I'm not messing with my arms at all, and my arms are staying pretty steady, and it's not getting nerved at all, and it's not getting, whatever. But, and if it says B, they are usually heavier, and are meant for bands. Drumsticks come in many very different varieties. They can be heavy, light, thinner, wired brush sticks, and you have mallets. When you're playing with a group, you mostly should use a lighter drumstick so you can move around more easily. When you're wanting to play more loudly, you can play with a more heavy drumstick. When you are playing light or softer, with kind of a little muffled sound, play with the mallets, because it's got kind of a carpet around it, and whenever you hit it, and if you hit that thing hard as you can, it's just gonna, like a gong. A gong is very loud, but it's a cymbal, so it's gonna be loud. Like if I hit a cymbal with the mallet, it's gonna be loud, and if I hit a drum with a head on it, it won't be very loud. And when you're playing with a wired brush, you're playing soft and smooth, which is why it's usually used for a jazz type of play. Um, there are so many different accessories that you can get, and I will name a few more of them for you. They have a gel substance called moon gel. You usually use it on your drum heads, which is your snare, toms, and floor tom, and your bass drum. It will help with the sound of the drum head, and will stop the ringing, and will control the resonance, which means sometimes whenever you hit the floor tom or the snare or the two toms above your bass drum, it'll kind of ring a little bit, and whenever you put that gel on there, it'll help. Or if you don't have the money for it, you can use your phone. You just gotta make sure you don't hit your phone. It'll probably break it. Yeah, it'll help with ringing control and resonance. You can attach many different parts to your drum set as well. You can attach a cowbell, and it can help you keep a good rhythm while playing, and it can also let you make different beats. Next, you can attach a drumstick holder to hold your sets of drumsticks. You will need a tuning key, or you could go and buy a tuning kit. If you do not tune your drum set, it will sound like crap, and nobody will want to hear you drum because it sounds terrible. Other accessories could be a metronome. The metronome is used to keep a steady pace, and it'll help you learn to drum with a different pace of beats, and it'll keep you on the same pace as it's going. You can make it go slow, fast, and you can even make it go offbeat, but it has to be up to you to keep the same pace as the metronome. Some other accessories could be to have different drum pedals, such as double bass drums or other single bass drum pedals, or you could just get two bass drums and have just two single bass pedals. But kind of for me, if you want to just kind of stay a little bit more cheaper, I'd go with just the double bass pedal. That would be cheaper than getting a whole nother bass drum, because drums get very expensive. Last thing would be your mic setup. You can buy a mic setup with different mics and attach them to the rim of the drum set. You'll be able to record yourself and post it on any kind of platform, such as YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, or any other social media apps, to get you more clout on anything, and can help you get more feedback on anything that you could do better to improve. One thing for sure is that all of these items are very costly. They all cost money. It's going to be very expensive. So if you can do any of this without doing these, if you look up how to tune your kit on YouTube, without having the ringing or muffled or resonant sound, do it. Because if you have to buy a complete tuning kit, that's going to be about $14. Moon gel, it's a little round tub with 8 moon gels, and it's $8. To me personally, that should be way less. I only know this because I've looked these up, because I've tried to get some. But, so that'll be all for today's podcast. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time. Peace out, Girl Scout.